How's it going, everybody? It's episode 11 of the Clean Finish podcast here with Blackjack and Wiza. Follow us on Twitter at It's21Blackjack, at Wiza Now, at Need Clean Finish. If you have not already, please subscribe to the Clean Finish podcast right down below there. Just click that nice little button and please leave a like on the video as well. Got a bit to cover here. I kind of actually want to touch a little bit on Raw, just some things I liked. But mostly today it's going to be NXT. Some rumors, some news, some major signings, and us covering everything wrestling that happened in the week. Wiza, a pretty damn good Raw. Well, let me not say damn good. It was good. It was enjoyable. It was fresh. It was something completely different, Wiza, from this Raw. Am I right?
Did you introduce us yet?
Yes, I did.
Like us?
Yes, it's literally. I said, how's it going, everybody? This is Blackjack. Yeah, it's like almost this, like the second thing I said.
It was us?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Raw was good. We covered it.
That is you were like Randy Orton. No, you're like Sheamus.
Wait, what?
You're like Sheamus. Like I'm hitting off all my offense, and then you gotta catch me, and then hit me with a white noise, and everything stops. And then everything just dies. No, the match stops.
Bring this podcast back down to normalcy. All right.
the crowd just stops caring. It's like, oh fuck. All right. But yes. Raw was good this week. It was good.
I wouldn't say it was great or anything. It's good to see a nice little reset.
Yes. And I think the big thing that made it so successful and worth actually talking about this week, and I kind of thought about this as I looked back on it. Matches mattered this week.
Did they?
Yeah. I mean, granted, we all knew, okay, it's Roman Reigns who's going to win in the end, but 4 of those matches were for a number 1 contendership spot for the title. So 5 matches that night legitimately mattered. And I think that got the crowd into it. I think that kept everybody on their seats, wanting to see who wins. We saw winners facing winners. It was new opponents. You know, you had Roman Reigns versus Kofi. You had Del Rio versus
These nuts.
You had
Neville.
Del Rio and Neville. You had Ziggler and Big E. And then you also had Kevin Owens and Cesaro. I mean, granted, that one's a little the same, but then afterwards you had a fatal 4-way, or everybody just kind of went all out. It was really good just to feel like 5 matches, at least 5 matches here matter. You know, even with the PCB stuff and the the pointless tag team, those 5 matches in some realm mattered. You know what I mean?
But they do love to make sure that the divas don't matter too much.
Correct. Yes, they really do. We did talk about this before the show. I always seem to do this. I talk about it. I always have like one person I always want to get after from like a previous podcast or whatever. Not necessarily get after them, but just kind of address a comment. So last week, somebody
Blackjack, I was about to call you Wiza. This is your gimmick now, huh?
This is my gimmick, yeah. So basically, if you want to be mentioned, just call me like an asshole or something.
All right. So let's hear what this is, because I have no idea what it is. I didn't check. I don't know. So let's.
Yeah, because I actually
work with.
Huh?
Is it something that we can work with here?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
All right.
Because you're actually somewhat tied in this.
Oh wait, what?
Well, not you personally. He personally came at me, which is funny because I'm pretty sure in this episode, you kind of felt the same way too. So
guilty by association. Got it.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where this guy just tells me, "Shut up with all your who cares," specifically to me.
So now I'm Kevin Castle and you're Don Tony.
Jeez, wow, okay.
I sit here, mind my business. You get us in trouble, and
I didn't get anybody. I didn't get anybody in trouble. No one's in trouble. We're gonna go about this peacefully.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Okay. So guy just tells specifically to me, shut up with all your who cares.
Shut up with all your who cares.
Yeah. If you don't care about Hell in a Cell or care to do the predictions, simply don't do them.
Okay.
We're a wrestling podcast. I don't know if you know this. I think one of the things that most podcasts do is that they give predictions on it. I mean, I feel like I've said this already. Like last week, you go to any podcast, whether they like the show or not, whether they felt like it was a drag,
it becomes our duty.
Yes, we talk about what it is because that's what we do. That's why we're here. We're here to talk about it. We end up not caring about something like Hell in a Cell because the build to it has been awful. It has been awful. So, I mean, Wiza, you felt that way too, where we got to predictions. I remember we got to one match in particular, the pre-show match, which we at first were just kind of like, whatever, but actually turned out to be a pretty good match. But the build to it was whatever. So how do you expect us to care? It's a mutual feeling that we have. I mean, we're not complaining for the sake of complaining because that's the cool thing to do. It's just that's what the product is giving us, a reason to not care. So when we talk about it, we want to give our predictions because that's what we do. It's every single week we give our predictions for a big event because people want to see, all right, where do we see this storyline going? Who do we see coming out on top? So that we have more stuff to talk about in the next podcast and we can laugh at each other and be like, haha, Wiza, you were wrong about X, Y, and Z, or hey, Blackjack, how about that Dean Ambrose guy? It's
that one's gonna haunt you forever, isn't it?
It really is. But that's all
WrestleMania against Brock. Like, no. No.
But that's what we do. It's we can't help it if that's how we feel about it. That's just how we feel. I mean, do you want us to just start lying and shilling and just saying, yeah, we really care about this pay-per-view, it's going to be great, go watch it? No, because then you're getting a fake people,
Even though sometimes it would probably be in our best interest to just leave stuff out, it's just not genuine for us to do it. People would know. People would definitely know because they expect us to just be like, nah, this shit sucked. So we're just gonna deliver what it is that people know us to do. It's really not that big a deal. If it's not your cup of tea, there's maybe we should start putting checkpoints in there for you to fast forward through to something. I don't know.
Exactly.
So move on.
Yeah, let's go ahead and jump a little forward here. Some big news regarding a very popular tag team in the wrestling industry. The Young Bucks are expected to sign a big deal with ROH.
Oh, I mean the build-up that you had there. God damn it.
That's a good build-up right there. Build up for that buzz. Oh, I guess you're just gonna put yourself on mute then. Okay. So yeah, the Young Bucks are now signing with ROH. This is what the big news is supposed to be. I don't know what Wiza was expecting, but if he wants to get back here, that'd be great. Not leave me out to dry. I need to actually pull up what it's supposed to be. So reportedly, it's that the Young Bucks actually talked with every single promotion. Apparently, they apparently talked with every single major promotion. So they did talk with NXT. They did talk with ROH. They did talk with New Japan, who was actually pretty instrumental in helping Ring of Honor sign the Young Bucks. And then they also wanted they also talked with wait a minute, who else? Lucha Underground, and then TNA also contacted them.
TNA
tried to sign the Young Bucks again before Bound of Glory, but the company was unable to get a deal done.
They had them and completely squandered them.
I don't even know why they talked. Well, I know why they talked to them, because you want to talk to everybody and see, what you're going to get from each, and then maybe put an offer on the table based on
what money they got.
Yeah. With regards to NXT, it's being said talks between WWE officials and the Young Bucks just never got serious, but there were several members of the NXT top brass pushing for them to be signed. So, when we talk about how NXT and WWE are almost kind of their separate things, well, here you go. You have NXT saying, please sign these guys, and WWE just not taking it seriously.
Wow.
Well, let me not say not taking it seriously, but not like seriously considering them.
I mean, I can understand why.
Correct.
They definitely wouldn't. They wouldn't make a good impression on Vince. That's for damn sure.
No. He'd probably also look at them and go like, I don't see what the big deal is. They're like 5'5", 150 wet.
I could bench press these guys at the same time.
Yes.
And
Vince might actually tell them that.
He probably could bench press them at the same time.
Yeah, these are them some small dudes. They can go, but they some small dudes.
Did you read about Del Rio?
The major deal that he signed?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And what he left, like what match he left behind?
I did not read about what match he left behind. Go ahead.
All right. AAA had plans to have a hair versus hair match between Del Rio and Jeff Jarrett on December 5th, but they're now redoing plans for that show.
Jeff Jarrett gets to keep his hair.
What if Del Rio was to lose his hair?
And just be Alberto Bald Rio?
Something there. Let me see. They were under the impression that
Albert the Bald.
Albert the Baldo. I'd say they put Ricardo Rodriguez into that match. Let's see. I'm looking at more stuff. A big WWE NXT title match set for next week. We already know about that.
Kevin Owens actually has a new shirt, by the way. It's Fight Owens Fight, but instead of Owens, it actually is just his face.
Oh no!
It doesn't look bad because he looks like a bear. So it's not a bad look.
Like kind of like a white over black image, right?
Yes. It's not horrible.
It's something WWE would do.
It is, but it's not horrible.
But it's extra. For what reason?
Yeah, I do agree with that.
Let's see what else we got here.
Because they need to see how many times they can put Fight Owens Fight on something. WWE ratings, right, for Raw. Hold on. I do need to pull that up because that was actually
there's a positive a little bit, right?
Actually went down a little bit.
Wow.
But hold on. It's so marginal. Actually, no. Some people are saying that they're getting a slight bump, but I can pull up the numbers in a second.
Down from last week or just down by the hour?
Down from last week, not by the hour. We're actually going to talk about that one too.
I expect that they went up by the hour.
Okay, so let's talk about last week. So here's the difference between this week and last week. Last week they were at a 3.357 altogether. Last week. This week they were down 3.354. That's literally 0.003 of a difference.
Okay, that's just probably tens of thousands.
Correct. Let's talk about the breakdown from last week, though.
All right.
Hour one had 3.6. Yeah, from last week. This is last week.
All right.
Hour one had 3.6 million.
Hour
two.
I'm just saying it so I can remember myself. Go ahead. 3.6.
Hour two had 3.34 million. Hour three had 3.12 million.
Jeez.
Okay. Let's go to the week before that. The week before that one was the scary one. That was awful. That one had 3.58 million.
To start off.
Yes. Then it went down to 3.25 million. And then hour three hit 3.08 million. That was that really awful Raw where it felt like nothing happened.
Okay.
This week, however,
I'm sure it went up. I'm sure of it.
Hour 1 was 3.63 million.
Okay.
Hour 2 was 3.21 million.
Damn.
And hour 3,
3.3.
3.21 million. It stayed.
Okay.
It's a huge improvement because their hour 3s have been awful. And this week, their hour 2 and hour 3 were exactly the same.
Hour 3s have been dropping by like 300,000 people.
Exactly. So it's a positive this week that their hour 3 did not stop.
Okay, so they got to worry about bringing people back.
Yes, mind you, there's no John Cena.
And they got fresh storylines. So let's see what happens. This is time for the little guys to make their come up. It's definitely their time. So we'll see what they can do. See if they could drive the ratings up to. I swear, they just need to get back in the 4 range. That's all they need to do. Just get back to 4s and start working from there.
Yes.
They got to put eyes on the product, man. I don't know how much they're doing on ESPN. I never seem to catch them on ESPN. Did the ESPN do anything for Hell in a Cell at all?
The ESPN just had The Miz on ESPN.
See, they got to get them to do like highlights and such.
Yeah,
they're still working on that.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not like they're showing like Sunday night, like, oh yeah, NFL football, and now Hell in a Cell live recap. Brock Lesnar bled here. Undertaker going for the choke slam, and then Brock Lesnar opens up the mat. Yeah, look at this. This is crazy.
Hey. Why not?
I mean, yeah, I think that if they're going to have this partnership, they should start doing that, but I highly doubt it's going to be.
They got to figure out the angle. How they can go about doing it.
Imagine if they have to sell a botch.
What if they had to do like top 10 or top 5 moments of WWE's pay-per-view and all of them were Cesaro? All of them being Cesaro. Why the hell not?
That'd be nuts. All right, ready for some injury news?
Go for it.
Rusev's out for a month.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, for a month?
Arm injury that he suffered on Main Event.
This sucks for him, and at the same time, it's perfect for him.
It's like, great. They have nothing for you anyway.
Very bittersweet. And the reason why it sucks is, 1, Vince is already pissed about the whole engagement thing leaking out. And 2, Vince doesn't like guys getting injured. So it's one of them damned if you do, damned if you don't gimmicks.
Yep. He sustained a proximal bicep tendon rupture against Neville. And Rusev just put on Twitter, I guess my biceps are too big for its tendons. I'll be back.
Shit.
Dude's still funny.
That's the only injury, right?
No, one more.
Orton?
William Regal.
The fuck?
Is undergoing neck surgery.
Like, did he sleep on the wrong side of the bed?
I don't know why he's that. He just had to undergo neck surgery a week ago. And he just went in for a checkup following the surgery. And, he's just getting some physical training done. It was something in his vertebrae. He says, he said he had neck surgery last year and everything was very, very good. And I went in for a follow-up exam 6 weeks ago. Luckily, we did the exam because they found there was more damage in the back of the neck that needed to be taken care of as soon as possible. The last surgery I had, they went in through the front of my neck. This one's in the back. So there's a lot more work involved and a lot of healing in the muscle in the back of the neck. It was my C3, C4, C5, and C6 vertebrae. I believe the operation is called a laminectomy, where they go in and completely clean out the calcium deposits from the back.
Operation is called. My head's about to fall off. Jesus.
And now that I've gotten this done, it's just a matter of healing up and I'll be good to go. Dr. Maroon, who is the head of WWE Wellness Program, performed the operation. He said I'll be good to go for another 50,000 miles or 50 years. Hopefully that will cover me for the rest of my time on Earth anyways.
Oh, okay.
So William Regal, ready to go. Expecting him back.
Right?
What's that?
No spectacular news, right?
Kurt Angle has a new contract offer from TNA.
Hold up. I heard that Kurt Angle was considering going to MMA fighting.
Yes. There's news about him in Bellator.
Like, is he going to be doing announcing there, or like what?
I'm not 100% sure.
He's not considering fighting, is he?
I hope he's not. I don't have the story up right here. All that he said about the TNA thing and where his status with them is that he said after the tour in January, he's going to be taking a break from wrestling, and he's not sure what he's going to be doing after that. He's leaving the door open. That'll be his final tour. And what a fitting way to end his time in TNA is to go to UK and perform out there. And that he's talked to TNA. They've offered him something and asked me to think about it, which he will do. But I'm really looking forward to spending some quality time with my family and then seeing where it goes from there. I mean, January is Royal Rumble. I don't know if he's legit about that. You know,
give him a one-shot deal for the Rumble and be all right.
Yeah, just be like, hey, just come back, do the Rumble, and after you do that, you can take a break. You know, WWE.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. He can knock that out.
Mm-hmm. By the way, do you know the size of Del Rio's contract? By the way,
talking about the amount of time.
No. Just how much per year he's going to be making.
1.45.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep. That's exactly it. 1.45. Is a rich man.
They said they needed a Mexican star or Hispanic star.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Because they couldn't get Kalisto over. Yeah, that's too hard.
Maybe because Kalisto talks English.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You got a guy.
They thought him with Sin Cara and a tag team gimmick would be a good idea.
Small guy, mask, underdog gimmick. Why not run with it, right?
Yeah.
NXT?
Here they are, you know, they want to get the Mexican audience, but, you know, fuck the black audience.
You know what? You're absolutely right. You are absolutely 100% right.
Which actually just completely reminded me about something. Naomi absolutely went off on Twitter. Let me not say went off. That's the wrong word to use here. Naomi has been very frustrated over the fact that the Team Bad is doing nothing and they have nothing for them. And she's been retweeting like crazy. People who are just like absolutely like, the fact that, people are just like, well, why isn't Naomi getting a shot? Where's Naomi's championship title? Or, why are there no opportunities for her? And she's just been retweeting it, like crazy nonstop. I'm not sure if it's an angle or anything. I highly doubt it is. I think this is legitimate frustration because I remember when, she was let go of Total Divas for the second time. She was just disappointed by it.
Well, they do this because WWE thinks that, higher ups think that crowds aren't behind them or that they're not connecting to the audience. So this is her way of saying, look, people are like, I am connecting to people. Look at all of the people that are, talking about this.
Which is one of the things that aggravates me about, wrestling. A lot of times they'll just say, I'm just happy to be here. This is just a job. I'm happy to have this job and I'm just glad that I'm here. Yet they don't realize how much it hurts them in the long run just to be happy. You hear a lot of guys talk about how wins and losses don't matter, even in interviews. I mean, yeah, it's funny that Nikki Bella says it, but when interviewers ask them questions like, do you think having so many losses hurt you? And they're like, no, a lot of people just talk. They don't really understand. I'm like, but it does hurt you. It's the same thing with like a guy like Cesaro, where we say wins and losses don't matter, but whenever you win, everybody starts to think that you're being pushed. And then when you start losing, nobody gets behind you anymore. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's such a weird thing. So Naomi goes and she's been tweeting all these people who've been saying, hey, we're still waiting for Naomi to to get her championship opportunities. Same thing with Team Bad. And then she started retweeting some people that were cursing too. So there was there was somebody who was, what's that?
Put over the frustration.
Mm-hmm. So there was one where she was like, she said, where like creative had, or when she actually retweeted one that said, when creative haven't given team bad TV or a story. And then they added all three, Naomi, Tamina, and Sasha Banks, and it's a gif of Gordon Ramsay yelling, I was wondering what the fuck you were doing.
Gordon Ramsay.
They had another one that said, when creative be sleeping on Team Bad. Same thing. It's like she literally tweeted anything that was specifically at creative. So I don't know if there's some legit heat here, but I do agree. I mean, what do you want her to do? I mean, if they're not going to use her, I mean, what else can she possibly do at this point?
And the reason is always you're not connecting with the crowd. Well, here's my connection to the crowd. You're gonna put me over? Can we get a match? Anything? No? High five? No? Okay.
And it sucks too, because the worst
thing is gonna work because Cesaro has a whole section and that's not seeming to work for him.
Yeah. And the worst thing about it is that, you know, I mean, think about every black wrestler we've gotten thus far and just kind of like how they've treated them. I mean, even as much as I love New Day, they're essentially what Vince wants, just a bunch of black guys who dance around, play music, and act stupid. Like stereotypical black people.
I agree.
Naomi, I mean, granted, we love them. They're great, but and there are some things that Vince doesn't pick up on, like the geeky stuff that Xavier Woods does, but they will never, ever be sold as smart individuals. They'll always be sold as, here are these three wacky dancing black guys. Go, do it. And the more they do it, the more.
Here's the thing, though. Here's one thing that we don't hear about that we probably should need, like, in order to help them, we need to start hearing more about this. We don't hear of disgruntled wrestlers in the back. We don't hear anybody causing a ruckus.
Yeah.
They need to, like, all right, social media is saying this, but what about you? Like, are you trying to fight for your spot? Are you going into that office and, like, literally, you know, sitting down with Vince and, like, going at it with him to try to get your spot?
Yeah, I was actually
always nobody stepping up. That didn't Vince say that?
Yeah, that's actually something that I wanted to bring up too, is that, like, yeah, you can go ahead and retweet all of this too, but you know
about it.
Right. We need you too. Like, we need you to get there and push. That's why, and that's what I was bringing up with the whole, you know, complacency thing, where they're just kind of like, hey, this is a job. I love working for this business. But I'm like, yeah, but you're frustrated too, and you know you are. Say something. It's frustrating, you know? And the, you know, the worst thing too is that, I mean, Team Bad is essentially just, you know, a black gimmick too, where they have to act all, you know, they're acting like it's a hood gimmick kind of.
Yeah.
It's not blatant, no, but it's there.
No, I agree.
They have, you know, Sasha out there. Sorry, not Sasha. They have Naomi out there, and
all that head shaking. Yeah, you got a little hood to you.
The head shaking, then the bandana print around her ring gear and everything. I mean, granted, if that's how she wanted the design to look, it's fine, but I don't know. They're just not letting Naomi be Naomi. Like, even her moveset just doesn't, it isn't Naomi, you know?
Maybe she needs to be back face. She needs to be back with Brodus Clay. Where's Brodus?
We're going to put her back with Brodus.
We got to find Brodus.
I mean, granted, she has had some great angry moments as a heel too, and they just completely disheveled her push. They, you know, they were getting ready to make her like the heel in place of AJ, and then they just pulled the rug from out under her. You know, it's just I don't get it.
Yeah, we have this idea for a Nikki Bella. There it is.
And then afterwards, it's just like, yeah, that's actually a good point. Naomi isn't. Well, I mean, she's in person. She's actually a very nice person. Yes, she's not what we would call ratchet or hood. No, not at all. She comes off very genuine, very nice, very mild mannered, I would say. I mean,
start sticking up for themselves. I honestly think that that's just what it is.
Right.
Like maybe they are. Maybe I'm like misquoting myself on this one. Maybe they are sticking up for themselves, but are they fighting for themselves? Like, I mean, going in there and like tossing a fit. Because it seems like that'd be the only solution here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of it either. It's hard because I imagine there's that part of you that's like, well, they're making all this money. Maybe I don't want to make a fuss, but at the same time, it's like
you're not doing anything.
Yeah, you're not doing anything with me. I'm not loving being.
Are you contributing to the company other than laying on your back?
Exactly. It's like, you're still, there's nothing for me to do. Sure, I love the money and everything, but I'm not doing anything. Sasha says that she's loved this since she was a little kid. They post the story. They post that little thing where she wrote when she was a kid that she wanted to be a professional wrestler. She wanted to be as good as Eddie Guerrero. And
awesome.
Here she is, and she is getting zero exposure on the main roster. She was a star in NXT, but they just refuse to do anything with her.
Wonder why that is. Even though like you got Triple H to back you, like is that hurting them or something? Like I'm lost there. How's Triple H backing them hurting them?
This is a frustrating thing to talk about. It's wow. Yeah, so that's what's going on. By the way, for anybody asking for those asking if she's on SmackDown tonight, she does make an appearance. The word is that Paige defeated Natalya tonight, and Paige was actually cheered like a babyface naturally. And then Team Bad showed up to help her win, and then they all beat down Natty together.
Okay.
Don't try to make sense of it. Just know that they made an appearance somewhere.
Oh.
Don't ask questions. Just don't ask questions. The less questions you ask, the better.
Okay.
All right. Shall we move on to NXT? Or actually, hold on. Let me see if there are any other rumors that we need to address here. So Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are looking like they're going to headline Survivor Series. They're looks like they're going to try to screw him out of the title to build sympathy. But it could also be possible that WWE puts the title on him now and have him defend.
I don't mind that.
Neither do I. And then have him defend it at the main event of WrestleMania 32.
I don't mind that.
Because if you have Roman win now and have the Dean heel turn and have Dean win at Royal Rumble, that's a way better. Yeah.
We gave people some homework.
Yes, we did.
I don't know how they can get it to us, but if you guys want to answer that homework,
send it to this email, clean.finish.podcast@gmail.com.
Oh God. It's going to be a tough pill to swallow. What
do you mean?
Yeah, we will read them. We'll read them here on air, probably after the NXT results. As a matter of fact, we'll talk. We'll get back to how we can make a triple threat match at Mania out of those three after the NXT review. So that'll give you guys some time. We'll read you guys a suggestion on there, and we'll try to decipher it our damn selves and find a good way or a good storyline on how they can get there.
Yeah.
So push forward to NXT now.
Hold on. Let me quickly just read through these rumors, just see if there's anything we're missing. John Cena could be back as soon as TLC.
Oh, what the fuck?
Scheduled for December 13th.
It is so. He's not like, give guys a chance. Give these guys a chance.
Dave Meltzer wrote on the board that Gigi from Tough Enough would have been signed, but something from her past came up that was bad enough that WWE is now refusing to acknowledge her at all.
Now, she was the one that should have won, right?
Never mind. They're referring to Gabby, not Gigi. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So we have no idea why Gigi. Gigi is the one that should have won. The girl from Australia who just had that one mishap where Daniel Bryan held a grudge against her, and she got the whole "you could have paralyzed me" thing, and Daniel Bryan really hated her ever since then, and that ended up getting her gone. Yeah. So apparently, I don't know. Okay. So no, that's supposed to be Gabby, not Gigi. That's a screw up. And Meltzer said that too, that he meant to say Gabby, and I can believe that with Gabby. She was she like Mexican or Brazilian, some sort of Hispanic one. Doesn't matter. If he does come back by the way, if Cena does come back for that show, rematch against Del Rio.
Say it again. Oh, rematch Del Rio.
So hope you enjoy your short reign with that title.
You think they'll do that?
No, I don't think they will. But if the joke is that Cena always wins his rematches,
maybe before then somebody meaningful will have it.
Maybe.
Who could they put? Maybe Cesaro. Maybe have a little feud with him and Cesaro.
Yeah, you could do that.
Cesaro put the title on Cesaro, and hopefully that helps.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could work.
By the way, King Barrett and Sheamus now considered an actual tag team.
Why don't Sheamus just put the briefcase up in the auction?
Put it up for auction.
Fuck it. Just fuck it. You want to talk? Just dropping the ball on a guy.
Oh man. Let's see. Yeah, he's. I just love this one. While there was talk of Dean Ambrose being pushed as the top babyface in John Cena's absence, there's now more talk of him turning heel. He's in a weird, and the rumor just ends with he's in a weird spot right now, and WWE isn't sure what to do with him.
How don't they? How?
They haven't known what to do with this guy for a year.
Everyone. Oh.
Don't know. They don't know how to use Dean Ambrose, Wiser. They don't get it.
Use anyone. No. Think about this. Think about this legitimately. Who do they know what to do with other than Roman Reigns and John Cena?
Well, let's see. They just brought up Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky, and they've already fucked that up.
Okay.
Already fucked that one up.
Let's think of the top names.
They know what to do with Nikki Bella.
Yeah, but let's think of the top names in the company. Let's think of the top names.
Dean Ambrose. They have no clue what to do with him. Seth Rollins is a shitty champion.
They have no clue what to do with Seth.
And he is an amazing worker.
They have no clue.
Here's what they do with Seth. Here's what they do with Seth.
Hey,
you're a really good wrestler, right? Here's some old guys. You make them look good.
They put him against Kane and Sting back to back.
And now get ready for Roman Reigns.
They gave him a U.S. title, which he did not defend because they didn't know what to do with that either. No, let's keep going. No. We can work with this. Shame. Oh, Sheamus. Hey, briefcase. We don't know what to do with you now. Barrett. Oh, bad news? What's that? I don't know what to do with you either.
Hey, Ryback, here's the Intercontinental Championship. Have fun with the Big Show and the Miz.
Hey, Keith Owens, you beat Cena. Great. Now what?
Lose to him just lose to him real quick, and then lose to him again.
Now take this IC title, yell a lot, and you still don't mean shit because we're going to put you in a piss break match and give you 3 minutes. Okay, all right, cool. What's your character, Keith Owens? We still don't know. Don't know what to do with you either. All right, let's move further down. Rusev.
Well, yeah, Rusev. Okay.
You plow through everybody, completely destroying the roster.
Here's John Cena.
All right, and then after that, what do we do?
I don't know anymore. Whatever.
Fuck it. Neville. Oh,
hold on. No, we're gonna take away your girlfriend, so you can't have that anymore. Here's Summer Rae, and fuck you.
Else we don't know what to do with.
Here's Summer Rae and Ziggler, the epitome of we don't know what to do with you.
Both of those guys.
Yes. And now all four of you can sit around and not know what to do with each other.
Neville, you can flip around and stuff, huh? Here's a cape. but we still don't know what to do with you. Hey, who do they know what to do with?
The New Day.
New Day had to find their own gimmick.
Exactly. They just say, "Hey, you three guys are black."
Guys, here, you guys gonna be church going fellas that sing and clap and be happy. But after that, we got nothing for you. Like, figure it out. All right, we got this. Dudley, hey, we're bringing you up. You guys are legends. But what are you gonna do?
Just get the tables a lot.
There you go. Sting.
Your baby faces, but it doesn't make sense. Your baby faces, and it doesn't make sense. But please, just make sure at some point in this match you yell, "Get the tables."
There you go. That's all you need to do. That's all you need. Seriously, they don't know what to do with anyone. Who has a developed character? All right, let's bring Roman Reigns back in, right? Let's bring Roman. We're gonna leave Cena out of this because they got Cena figured out. But let's bring Roman Reigns back in. Even no one has a character. No one. What is Roman Reigns?
I have a family.
No one has a character. No,
he should be Samoan badass, but
so in all actuality, they know where they want to go with Roman Reigns, but they don't know what they want to do with that guy. They don't. No. Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family. It's like anytime they figure out what to do with someone and it starts working, they're like, "Oh no, that's not supposed to work. We don't know what to do with you either." Braun Strowman was strong for 1 week before they realized they didn't know what to do with him.
Braun Strowman, you're here to be a roadblock for Roman Reigns. 1 week later, oh shit, we want Roman to get over. All right, we got nothing for you. Why don't we bring the Vince is just sitting in the office like he made the call to bring up Braun Strowman. The next week he's just like, "Why do we bring this guy up here? Looks like Giant Eugene."
All right, you keep going. Somebody just said for us to read the you keep going. I'm gonna read this what Vince said about the third quarter.
Which by the way, speaking of Giant Eugene is actually being brought up within WWE, possibly for a return.
What?
Number 3 babyface Wiser, and they're gonna have nothing for him.
Got nothing for you, bro.
Here's Braun Strowman. That's gonna be your brother from now on, and you guys have a gimmick where you both do nothing.
They just flat out don't have anything for these guys. Big Show, Mark Henry, nothing. Stardust, oh, we had something, nothing. The Ascension, you came up with nothing. Oh, and wait until you get your hands on Tyler Breeze. Oh, you want to talk about having nothing to do with something? There you go. Get ready for it, Tyler Breeze fans.
They literally brought him on SmackDown to beat up Ziggler, and then in his match on Raw, they brought him out there to sit there and literally do nothing with Summer Rae.
Ryback, on several occasions, they had something for him. Then nothing. First, they had him just kicking everybody's ass. Pretty much what Samoan John Cena should be doing. Then they had him smacking tuna in the guy's ear. Then they had him reading poetry to fucking Curtis Axel. Okay. They just don't. They just it's a so they. I don't want to hear that they don't know what to do with Dean. They don't know what to do with anyone. It is.
By the way,
simple.
Speaking of Samoan John Cena, his Samoan cousins are supposed to be back sometime soon.
Oh yeah. And
they're a thing.
And they're taking the titles off of New Day, right?
I'm on top. It's just me and my peeps. They say that thing that
I would be okay with that if they came back as heels. Because think about it. If they take the titles off of New Day, do you understand the heat they would get? They're not going to get cheered for that. They're not getting cheered for taking the titles off of New Day. You crazy?
Oh, yeah.
Come back and heal them up. You got Naomi already acting like a heel.
Mm-hmm. Have her husband get on the same page.
When they were last here, she was the one bringing them out. So is she going to stop bringing them out?
Mm-hmm.
Probably, but let's say that she does bring them out. Bring them out as heels. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Just have it so that they, oh my God, we can't beat these New Day guys. We can't beat them. Then they just resort to heelish tactics and they take the titles off them that way. I'm fine with that. I wouldn't even mind the feud. I wouldn't mind it at all. But they're coming back to take the titles. You're going to have to blame Smalls for me thinking about that.
I'm on top. It's me and my peeps. They said everything's out of my reach. Anyway, what are we going to read?
Kind of skimming over this WWE third quarter conference call recap. Vince McMahon speaks out. Somebody is telling me that we need to check it out. Vince touted the successful quarter and touted some of WWE Network content. He said NXT live specials do extremely well for them. He also spoke positively about the Beast in the East special. All right, so you speak about the NXT live specials doing extremely well, but why are we not following suit?
Because I'm on top. It's me and my people. They said everything's out of my reach.
Vince said WWE Network is the most viewed channel on YouTube. He said it's really important for us. So the WWE Network's on YouTube?
So yeah, they do. They will occasionally put some of the programming on YouTube. So like the Breaking Ground first episode, they put up on YouTube.
Okay.
So I mean, that's just all. They don't put everything on there. That'd be ridiculous. Then it's just stupid. Then why even have the network? The videos are there.
He wants the WWE Network to grow at the same rate as Netflix. Well, here's one thing that Netflix did. Not saying that this helped at all, but they actually started getting people to promote Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they did like partnerships with YouTubers and such to promote Netflix, even though they were already huge at the time. But every now and then you just want to, reinforce it with people that have audiences. I highly doubt WWE is going to ever do that. I highly doubt that.
Yeah.
What other ways can they get the network out there? I mean, it's for people that watch the show. They're stealing it every 5 minutes. So what more can they do than drop my damn mouse?
Yeah, the
price that they have is a good price.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty damn low. Even if it was like $19.99, I think that would be a good price.
Nah. If it was $19.99, I'd be getting rid of the network.
Well, you got NXT, you got the pay-per-views, you got shows. There's a plethora of stuff on there for you to watch. It's not $19.99. That's because they already got us used to $9.99.
That's true, but I don't think I'm going to pay $19.99 to watch one wrestling show that I can watch on Hulu.
But
I do get your point, though.
It's worth at least that.
Correct. Yes.
The worth that it is worth at least that. New programming. She questioned whether it was scaled back. She questioned whether they were considering scaling back on new content. Vince said they always looked at the data, and he said the percentages were misleading because you need to drive people to the network. So he doesn't know what's driving people to the network. And I honestly think it's the live shows and the pay-per-views is pretty much what it is. They're not really talking about, yeah, they do. They do. I was going to say they don't really talk about like network exclusive stuff, such as like, but then I had to think like they do because they talked about this, Breaking Ground thing?
Yes.
So they do mention new shows.
By the way, Baron Corbin actually attempted a moonsault.
Oh, no.
And Breaking Ground actually made me care.
Okay, I thought you meant like in the match. All right.
Oh, no. Baron Corbin, I actually cared more about Baron Corbin after watching that than I ever have.
I'm starting to think that they're really putting the horse behind Baron Corbin. How much did they feature him in that show?
Well, they also had this one segment with these three girls. I think, I can't remember who they are. But like some of them are just like having a nice little tryout match, and you get more behind them just by watching this and seeing that they're real people than anything else they do. I mean, Baron Corbin's featured on there a bit, but it's not anything crazy over the top, But they should be. I mean, they should be pushing Baron Corbin the same way that they should have pushed Tyler Breeze. I mean, Tyler Breeze is an amazing worker.
Did we lose you? Okay.
I'm not going to take back that. No. I'm going to stay with what I was going to say. He's an amazing worker. he can work with a lot of the guys that are there, and I think
he's had good matches with any sized person in NXT.
Right, and I think he's been punished. Well, maybe not punished, but not pushed as hard as some of those other guys there because of their indie backgrounds and the following that they have, which I think is unfair. Because it's not like Tyler Breeze is bad. It's just I imagine if Tyler Breeze had actually made a name for himself out in the indies first and then came here, I almost think that would have probably done him a better favor in NXT than him coming straight through WWE developmental, if you know what I mean.
Hold on. Yeah, I brought that up. I brought up Corbin there because I hear that he's featured a ton in the new WWE 2K16 game. I mean, a ton. He's
probably treated there as like the top heel.
They say he's all over that game. Like, who was all over the last year's game? Was it Rusev? They said like it's
Rusev or probably Zayn actually.
They said Baron Corbin's damn near in everything.
I believe it.
Proof of the brand and the power of social media, and it's NXT competing with Raw and SmackDown doesn't enter their minds. He said NXT is a different vibe and a different feel and a unique audience. So why are we look? So let's stop trying to wrap our brains around the way they think, and let's just move on to NXT.
All right, let's do this. So we had NXT this Wednesday, which was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
NXT started off with was this the Asuka match? No, this is the Emma match. Sorry. I don't know why I thought Asuka was on this. So it Emma versus this cheerleader girl. What was her name? It's like
it was Emma versus some chick that she was the last person that she took on before going to the main roster, essentially. So
Shazza, that's her name.
The last jobber that she took on.
Right. Emma just pretty much goes off. Full heel.
She looked good in this match.
Yeah. This is the best Emma. This is the best Emma has looked since she's gotten here in NXT.
Wow.
Even I'm dating even back to Paige days. This is the best that she's looked.
This is a definite wow. Definitely
yeah.
Wow. This was some good heel work here. This wasn't just some like the type of heel work that we had here will be different from what we would get with Sasha. This right here was just more so
you don't like me.
Dominating, bullying, and I don't want the crowd to even think about cheering me.
Correct, yes.
Like
I'm not trying to get over.
No. I want y'all to hate me. Like legit hate me.
She stomped on this girl's neck.
Before putting her in the Emma lock.
Before putting her in the Emma lock, she stomped on this girl's neck.
This whole match, she just looked stiff. I'm like, is she mad at her? Like, I really am sitting there looking like, is she legit mad at her? Like, did this chick hit her the wrong way or something? Like, why is she destroying her like this?
Because she knows what's around the corner.
Yep. Get ready, Emma. Good luck. Good luck, Emma.
I am really looking forward to this match now between Emma and Asuka.
Is it booked though?
It's gonna happen. I don't know. It's not officially booked yet, but it's gonna happen.
I'll pray for you, Emma.
So after that match, they went backstage with James Storm. They talked about his debut win last week. Actually cut a pretty damn good promo here. I was not aware that James Storm was this good of a talker.
Oh, he's a good talker.
I knew he was good.
Good talker.
I knew he was good. I didn't think he was this good.
Yeah, he's always been a pretty good talker. Him and Bobby Roode together, you get those two, man, they just flow.
Yeah, I mean, everything that he said tonight came off as if it were like a normal promo. Not even just normal.
He got good fire behind him.
That's exactly it. It had fire. There was a presence there. This felt like somebody. Okay, yeah, I can get behind this guy. Yeah, James Storm was good. And then
it was natural. It didn't seem like, hey, we want you to say this. Nah, it wasn't like that.
Yeah, this didn't feel like lines were being fed to him. It's just like everything that he said just like rolled off the tongue. It's like he's thinking of it as he's going.
That's how he usually talks.
Yeah, it's really, really good. You know, it's like um I don't know what I was gonna say here, but yeah, it's really good promo. Cuts it, says sorry about your damn luck, leaves.
Gets it over with.
So they make the announcement that Apollo Crews is going to get his shot for the NXT Championship next week against Finn Balor. And
this mouse is going to hate me. Keep dropping it. Go ahead.
And then we get Chad Gable and Jason Jordan versus Tommaso Ciampa and
Yo, seriously with this tag team, man. Really?
You know,
do they have to be this good? Both teams, both of them.
I watched this match and I immediately said, this is better than any John Cena Open Challenge match ever.
This is the second time we've done this, by the way.
This
is the second time this has been said this week.
this is just because it's wrestling. I wanted to hate on the crowd for saying this is wrestling, but
you can't.
I can't because this is wrestling. This is what we've been missing.
This
is what we've been missing for so long. It's just.
By the way, I think it's official now. The Jordan and Gable are faces.
Yes, they are.
It's official.
Because even Ciampa and Gargano were wrestling as if they were the heels. Not saying that they were.
Crowd was behind them too.
But yes, they wrestled and worked for Jordan to get the hot tag.
And then they actually, to my surprise, cheered Jordan.
Yes. But yeah, the one thing,
not exempt from the cheers.
Mm-hmm. The one thing that I loved about this match is that everything felt as if, like they did the startup spots with Gargano and Gable where they're both evenly matched, and then Gable will get the best of them. He do a few, and all it was just headlocks and hammer locks and a lot of twisting back and forth.
Transitions.
Yes, just transition. But it got you into the match.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't require just big moves and bombs for no reason. It was just fun, electric, entertaining wrestling.
It was fundamental stuff.
Yes, and then when you got Jordan and Gargano in the ring, it was still fundamental to a level, and then it built up to, all right, time to hit some major offense. And man, it's just like it had everything. I cared about every single minute of that match.
It's a shame that
all four of them are phenomenal, by the way. All four of them.
It's a shame that so far they're not coming to terms with the deal with Ciampa. Like it seems like they're both playing patty cake there. Whereas Gargano, we know that Gargano's coming back. Right now, we're still not sure if Tommaso Ciampa is. I'm sure that he'll get there. But, there's no word on that part yet.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, come on. Both of these guys. And you could keep them as a tag team. I'm fine with that.
I'm okay with that right now. If you have nothing for them, this is fine.
This is more than fine right here.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So yeah, I mean, just wild action all the way through. If I listed off everything that happened in this match, we'd be here all day. Gable and Jordan eventually get the upper hand. Jordan tags in Gable. Grand Amplitude for the win. Oh man,
it was crazy hot.
I just still wish they would call this move the alley-oop. That's all I see when it happens.
This is the name though,
huh?
They need a name.
Gable and Jordan.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if their name was Grand Amplitude and then they changed their finisher name to alley-oop.
That would work. That'll work. Does Gable have a Twitter?
Yeah.
Do you know it?
At WWE Gable, I want to say. WWE Gable. Yes, at WWE Gable.
WWE Gable. Got him.
Yeah, and he's growing his hair all the way out now.
I was just about to say something about his hair. Like, I wonder if they're gonna like eventually cut it.
It's getting noticeably longer. So I don't think they're
Corbin here.
Huh?
Gonna have the Baron Corbin here at one point.
Maybe.
Just a completely awesome tag team. Both of those teams. Teams.
Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be they're gonna be fun to watch until
their match with the Mechanics. I just can't wait at this point.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see that. I got to see how they're gonna put that together, because you got one team that's going to completely slow it down. Oh, they're just gonna do a whole lot of building. There's gonna be a whole lot of building in that match. They can get at a half hour if they want.
Mm-hmm.
For them to tell that story, yeah, go on ahead, give them a half hour.
Remember when I said that NXT is one of those companies where you can build almost any like team or like any program you want? Man, if I hear about a Chad Gable and Jason Jordan versus Mechanics match, that can main event. If that main evented a show, I'd be totally okay with it.
Yeah. Especially now, I guess that might be the next thing for them to do. They've already had, women main events, so let's start putting tag teams on the map, which it seems like they're doing now because they're starting to do a lot more tag team matches.
Mm-hmm. Because I remember when their tag team division was the Ascension and Scrubs. You know how we always call it John Cena and Friends? Well, this was the Ascension and Scrubs.
Oh my God! Could you imagine the Ascension being in NXT now?
Whew, they'd be in trouble.
They would be exposed.
They wouldn't get
work at this point because too many teams are hot. Let me not say too many teams are hot, but teams are hot right now.
Teams are hot and they're better workers than them. They were
pretty much over by squashing and the chants. That was the bulk of their character.
Yeah.
Now it's like, well, everybody's over, so now what? It'd be hard for them. They would get crushed. Mm-hmm. They would flat out get crushed.
I did notice something here because after this match, they had or it may have been beforehand. It was before this. They actually did the video package with Finn Balor, the Who's Finn Balor thing, and they quickly went over it. And the fans and everybody was talking about them.
Mm-hmm. Talking about.
I'm convinced now. Finn is boring.
Oh, fans were talking about who?
Finn.
All right. So what was it? See, I looked at the package, but then I seen that Becky Lynch was there. So I'm like, oh, it's the same damn thing that they always show about them.
Right. Yeah. But the big thing that they talk about is just, like, oh yeah, Finn Balor. I like him because he's cool.
So they don't really got nothing to sink their teeth into.
Right.
They don't.
There's nothing. There's nothing in this guy.
I don't know. I don't know what they could do with him. It's up to him, honestly. You have the title. So right now you have the power to, do a little more than others. If there's something in you, it's a good time to show it. It's a good time to show it. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So then afterwards we had Devin Taylor interviewing Bayley. And Bayley talks about Alexa Bliss and says, she doesn't like me because, I'm a role model and that she wants to stay true to herself and be determined to be a role model for the kids.
Her promo was painful. It was painful to get through. That was completely memorized and was being read off of cue cards. That was a bad promo.
Yeah.
And not only that, but there was also a lie that she had in there.
Oh, I'm curious where you're going with this one.
She's always been the same since day one.
Yeah, that's not true. Granted, I had to bring that to your attention, but yes, it is not true.
Yeah. You haven't been. You have changed. You've changed into female John Cena. What if John Cena makes a stable?
Oh my God, Wiza. Don't do that.
John Cena makes a stable of other John Cenas.
John
Yeah.
Cena, Samoan John Cena, and female John Cena.
Now, who's going to be the tag team John Cena? Let's put
Usos.
together the tag. Oh no. Let's put together the tag team John Cena.
Okay.
Who would be the tag team John Cena? Could we just put a couple guys together? Damn, that would be a hard one because nobody really does that mess. Who would be the tag team John Cena?
I guess we'll have to get back to that one because I have no clue.
New homework.
Who
Tag
is
team John Cena? Find him.
Well, right now the closest thing we're gonna get to it is the Dudleys because they just seem to be buddy with John Cena right now. But anyway, Wise, I'm just gonna need you to look at Twitter real quick.
Okay.
I just retweeted it.
Okay.
And I just need you to look at that.
Okay. So in the meantime, don't forget the homework. Give them the email address again.
Sorry. clean.finish.podcast@gmail.com.
And the homework is to
Who is tag team John Cena? And also,
the important one.
how do you get Dean to
How do you get the triple threat match to happen at WrestleMania? How would you book it how would you put it together?
Correct.
Dean, Seth, Reigns. How do you get to that point? Between now, you have from now until WrestleMania, how do you get to the point where you can make that a triple threat match?
Yes.
And you're talking about the unicorns here, right?
Yes. Why are they that out of control?
Look at Kofi come out, though.
With the little skip?
With the skip and the clap.
Yeah. Oh man, these guys are idiots. But they're great idiots.
They just come up with shit. And it's more the more they make Vince laugh, the more they're going to keep their position. Smart guys. Okay. So what was the next match? Because we just talked about Bayley.
Let's see. Sorry, I just went away for a second. Oh, so afterwards we got Eva Marie in Paris. Our Red Queen, everybody.
So what else we got?
Nia Jax came out for her second ever match. It was another squash match. She was in the
So what else we got?
I mean, at least she didn't come out in that ridiculous attire. Now she came out in the black outfit.
And she still looked.
It did not look as bad.
It didn't look as bad, but it looked like cloth armor. Like, no, that's not. I guess they don't want to take Kong's complete gimmick, but you just need to. You honestly just need to, because it still looked bad.
Yeah, they got
to do something with her hair. It just looks a complete and utter mess. But apparently, is this whole smiling thing a part of her gimmick?
I guess
because they kept talking about it on commentary.
Yeah, just look at that smile, and I'm like,
she smiles and then she kicks your ass, and then she smiles again. So maybe they're doing something with that. Maybe, possibly. Yeah, I don't fucking know. They got some work to do with her. I don't know. We'll see where we go. Put your trust in NXT until they get it wrong.
Yeah, that's usually how these things go.
Her actual match.
Yeah, she had a match against Kaylee Ray. Beat her with the spine buster. I thought her work was maybe a little bit better here. But there are some things about her work that really I'm like, no. It's just the way, like, she does this like one like hip bump in the corner and she doesn't sell it right. So it looks awkward. Was I'm not a fan of this. I am not huge on this whatsoever. You know, when Dana Brooke was there, it was like I didn't like her because she was green. But with like Nia Jax, it's just like I don't understand what it is. Like what is the gimmick even?
I just saw the most funniest thing ever, and I'll show it to you in a minute. Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
I just why is this Nia Jax? Why is it a thing? Other than the fact that it's The Rock's cousin, which they sold a shit ton of.
Did they?
They sold the fuck out of that on commentary.
Yeah, I completely like no sold this whole entire existence of a match. Like I looked at it, it was on my computer screen. That's it. I no sold it. So I got nothing for you on that. You're gonna laugh in a second. You're gonna really laugh hard. You're gonna laugh really hard. I hope you're ready to laugh really hard. It's gonna be on your Skype coming in now. You have to read it. So to cover this awkward silence, what else did we have after her?
Which almost it makes me wait. He can't be that much different, can he?
He does look a whole lot cleaner now.
I gotta say that.
People are actually perfectly straight now, believe it or not. That's a help. But that right there is hilarious. That is hilarious. That's just everything about that is hilarious.
Hey, he's very, very true.
That's too fucking good. Way too good.
Oh man, that's hilarious. Okay. So
kind of hard to unsee that now.
Oh yeah, that's
the world may never know.
Dash and Dawson come out. Oh, sorry. Enzo and Cass come out, and Dash and Dawson kill them as they make their entrance.
Completely. Just them saying no. Y'all not getting y'all entrance off. Fuck y'all. Yeah. And get your.
Oh, y'all want to sit here and talk all day? Nah.
We ain't got time for that. We here to fight. You must have forgot what we did to you last week. Take this work. See, I love that. When's the last time somebody got their entrance ruined?
Yeah, that I was thinking about that too.
And then I haven't seen destroyed to the point where we're not going to have a match.
Yeah, there is no match. No, get out. So yeah, they killed Big Cass's leg, and they had to get the doctors in there. That's a good sell. But I think that's also how they're going to write off Big Cass. So looks like Cass and Enzo are soft after all.
There you go.
Afterwards, we had a promo. Alexa Bliss backstage, who was way better than Bayley on the microphone, with Blake and Murphy responding to Bayley's talk earlier that night, and said that she actually got approval from William Regal to have a 6-tag match, and it's going to be Alexa Bliss and Blake and Murphy. And now she told Bayley that she needs to find 2 losers that actually want to partner up with her.
Is that really that hard?
Cue the Vaudevillains?
I don't know. Who could it be? With Bayley.
It ain't gonna be Jason Jordan and Chad Gable.
Fuck that.
They ain't got time for that.
They've already did Vaudevillains and this tag team to the Cowboys. What is it? What did y'all call them?
Dubstep Cowboys?
There you go. Dubstep Cowboys. Already done them to death.
Can't do Enzo and Cass now.
They're dead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tough one.
Yeah, the only answer I have here is vaudevillains.
Well, okay. Just okay. Yeah, because I don't know who she can bring on. I don't know.
You know what? I've just realized what annoyed me about that Nia Jax match. She hits her move and then can't figure out how to pin.
Yeah, she did know how to pin her.
She was just like, "It's right. Just take the pin." I hate it. It
like
is my
already in the pin position. He's like, no, I don't want that way. No. Let's turn around this way. Is this where I pin? Okay, right here.
Right, because it stopped because all of a sudden it stops becoming a wrestling match and then it becomes you're trying to find a camera.
I was just about to say that.
I was
just about to say that.
It irritates the hell out of me when wrestlers. Well,
go on ahead and take the pin. Who cares if they're showing your thigh?
Yeah,
take the pin.
Just take the goddamn pin. The person selling it is giving it to you. Just take it. It's the same thing with there's so many wrestlers that do this too. Cena is the most recent one I can think of. Just take the goddamn pin, please. Roman does it too, but anyway, I'm going to go off on a rant if I do.
So, did we get our next match with?
Well, we actually got the Apollo Crews documentary thing,
which we've already.
Well, no, it was the second part of it, so it was a little different. It was about him actually getting to NXT and his brother and his family, motivation to fulfill his dreams and whatnot. And then he says, he's going to become NXT champion by beating Balor. I think Balor actually at the beginning of the show says, he respects Apollo Crews, but his time as champion will come, but it's not going to be right now. So we had our main event with Tyler Breeze and Samoa Joe.
Good match.
This is a very good match. Enjoyed this. Not as good as the tag team match, but still good match. I think it was going to be pretty hard for anybody to top that tag team match.
I like the fire from both of these guys in this match.
Yes.
They actually did wrestle like they both had something to prove here.
Yes.
And Joe wins with the rear naked choke. And the look in his face when he did it, he had that legitimate "I want to choke you out" look in his face.
Wise.
He look a little savage to you with that choke out?
It's gonna happen.
So you think this is you think this is now where what? It's gonna happen?
Wiser.
What?
I'm telling you. Here it comes.
What?
We talked about it 2 weeks ago. You know what it is.
What?
Come on, son.
What, Joe's heel turn?
It's coming.
I mean, he was a little more vicious in this match.
It's coming, Wiser.
I mean, he's gonna eventually, he's gonna be a heel. Absolutely.
You don't think it's gonna happen next week, Wiser?
Why would it happen next week?
Oh, I don't know. There's this Finn
no, we
Balor
don't know nothing, Blackjack.
We don't know anything.
There you go.
I'm just saying there's this Finn Balor guy and there's this Apollo Crews guy. And
okay, so tell me, what is right now, what is Samoa Joe's motivation to be heel?
He is a pissed off man that feels like he hasn't gotten his opportunity. And
what did Finn do to him?
Nothing.
Okay.
He just had opportunities taken away from him, and he feels it's unfair. He did everything the right way and never got his chance. So now he's pissed.
What did he do the right way?
He didn't
got eliminated from the Battle Royal.
Correct.
Okay.
And he didn't. Right. He didn't. That's the thing. He didn't cheat. He never tried to be low. He never tried to do anything wrong. But he's been cheated.
He's been cheated.
Correct. So
by
Regal,
he's already taken out Tyler Breeze.
Right. Yeah. But Regal has cheated him as well. Because Finn did say, I will give you this opportunity. Sure, you want your number one contendership match, you can have it.
But
then Regal.
But Finn's not the GM.
Right.
You just go giving people title shots.
Correct.
It works.
Correct. And then that's what I'm getting to.
John Cena.
Right. No, he's not.
I think he is.
But Regal.
He's not Cena.
He's not. Yeah. But then Regal took that opportunity away from him. And now he feels like it doesn't matter if he does things the right way or not. He's only going to get an opportunity if he takes it.
So essentially you're saying that could be his motivation.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that could be his motivation.
He's turning heel because
why does he need to turn next week though?
Because fuck Apollo Crews.
Why we can't build this up a little bit?
Because you don't want Finn Balor or Apollo Crews to lose.
What? Come again?
Because you don't want Apollo Crews. It's the only reason I can think of.
You don't want Crews to lose, but you also have Baron Corbin, who I called like a week or two ago saying Baron Corbin's going to fuck this whole thing up.
I don't think it's going to be him.
So why Joe over Corbin? Because Joe's wanted the title more?
Yes, because Corbin is a dick.
Never really did proclaim to say I want the title. He has yet to.
Correct. Samoa Joe does have that. He's been slapping Finn's title. He's made it very clear that he wants the title and said it very, very clearly to Finn's face. Corbin has not very clearly said that to Finn's face. That's the difference. Corbin does say that he wants to be champion and kill all the indie darlings, yes, but he hasn't said it to his face. Joe has said it to his face. That's the difference.
So this has to happen. So it's going to be Joe to interfere in this title match.
Correct, because NXT is going to want to protect both guys in that match.
And Joe's going to be the one to fuck it up to get the heat.
Joe's going to be a dick.
Okay.
I'm calling it right now. Joe's going to be a dick.
Okay.
Dick.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Dick Joe.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I just think now is the time where Corbin just needs to make an impact.
I agree.
There's nobody else really in the picture, right? Who else is in
Hey, look, I completely agree with you.
I'm forgetting about that could possibly have anything to do with this, because we know there can't be a clean finish with this match. There can't be.
No, absolutely not.
These guys need to be protected. So who else could be someone? Not Rhino. Rhino's just a guy.
Rhino's a guy.
just there. Who else?
I don't see Corbin.
Tyler Breeze is already called up, so we don't got nothing for him.
And he just got squashed by Samoa Joe, so no.
How do you feel about Tyler Breeze being called up like right in the middle of his story?
I don't like it, but if he's making more money,
here's what
I
think about it. I think NXT kind of dropped the ball here. They took way too long to branch off his, the new character that they were developing here.
Yes.
Along with the story.
Yeah, I mean, how long did it take? I mean, she's been down there for like, what, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, if you go back to FCW?
And it's like they just now started to build into his character that he could be a lot more vicious. They're just starting to get to that. They should have been there. And commentary should have been already at this point saying, man, when this guy turns on that vicious side, you got to watch out. They should have been building that up. So that when he does, so in a situation like this, if they do so happen to carry him up to the main roster, he can show that vicious side and, people already gravitate to it. But now I think, you bring him up to the main roster and it's like they were working on that part of his character. Main guys on the higher ups are going to see it as, it's just some soft, pretty boy guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they kind of dropped the ball with fleshing out or branching out his character a little bit more. They took way too long there. Now the story, it sucks that we're probably not going to get the full story here, but We'll see. We'll see. I just think the main roster is really gonna fuck him over. I just see it.
Yeah.
And it ain't gonna take long at all. I'll give him 2 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we don't know who else could interfere in this match. We're plucking at strings here. The Mechanics ain't gonna do it unless we still holding out hopes for the Mechanics and Finn Balor joining forces and becoming like the Balor Club. But then again, Alexa Bliss did come out with these 2 nutsos, so that's never gonna happen. Still hold out hope though. Still hold out hope. But yeah, there's nobody else that can interfere in this match, and because somebody needs to do it. Someone needs to. It's not going to end out no all-out brawl. It's not going to be a count-out. It's not going to be a ref stoppage. Or nothing.
I actually don't know how this is going to finish either. I mean, because Joe can't just come straight out, right? Assuming that it is Joe.
Well, why would Joe want to, like, because he wants it off of Finn?
Right.
That's your reason?
Right. Yeah, because it's directly been Finn. I mean, sure, he may be also mad at Apollo Crews too, I imagine, a little bit. Crews? Well, no, because he wouldn't have a direct reason to be mad at Apollo.
Corbin, on the other hand, would, because Crews took him out in the Battle Royal.
You're right, actually. You know what? That would give him something to do. You have Joe and Finn, and then Corbin. And do you think both Joe and Corbin come out?
I don't see that. I don't know. I mean, why would they send them both out? Why would
You're right. Yeah, it would just be Joe. And we've explained why that or at least I've explained why that. No, we've both explained why it would be Joe.
I don't know. And I'm probably still holding out hope for Corbin because I'm just at this point I'm growing into a big Corbin fan at this point.
I mean, hey, look, you're preaching to the choir here. I would love to see that title on Corbin. I don't see him coming out. There's no one here that he's the only guy that makes sense is Joe. Who else has been as involved with Finn thus far? And why would they do the whole tease with the titles thing? You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, so we'll see what happens next week.
Okay.
See. So good show as usual. Nice building here. There are some people that think that NXT on a weekly basis seems to be boring.
That what?
NXT, like if it's not their special, they think that their weekly shows are a bit boring. I don't understand how they think that.
I will say this. I do think that there are some episodes where it's kind of like, it was an okay show. So I can see where they say like it may be boring, but they're not Raw. I would rather have the curse of the show just being whatever or boring than it being, oh my God, get this off my television. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, if you're not really into James Storm or you have no clue who that guy is and you're watching a James Storm versus who the fuck ever match, you're like, okay, so?
What if James Storm just came down and said, fuck it, I'm interfering because now I want the belt, even though I just got here? He doesn't have a contract with WWE yet, does he?
They may be working on a deal. I'm not sure.
As of now, there isn't one. He hasn't signed necessarily, like a full-time deal.
Yeah. Who knows?
Okay. All right. So, did we get any emails to that email?
Oh, let me check that. By the way,
I'll check the Twitter.
Okay. By the way, I do I do just want to go back and actually read the pitched idea that I had for that Ambrose thing, just the full thing, just so that I guess everybody can laugh at me a little bit more. But yeah, are you ready to hear the entire? By the way, only one person submitted homework.
Good.
Good.
Everybody gets Fs.
Everybody gets F except for Taekwon Conley.
All right, everybody else loses.
Okay. Okay. So I'll actually read I'll read mine's first, and then I'll read his next.
Okay.
So here's how I propose it, because I sent this to Solid Monster too. So I had to go back and find the email. He said he did find it intriguing, but he thought he just didn't see it happening.
Are you talking about your way to get there?
Yeah, for the Ambrose idea from last year.
Oh boy.
So I said, as much as I wanted a clean finish last night, that's referring to the Dean Seth Hell in a Cell match. I think I preferred this finish because it still gives Dean a reason to go after Seth, since technically his business is unfinished in the future, with potentially the championship on the line. My thinking is this: a few months back, I had thought, with Seth Rollins winning the Money in the Bank, that this was the entrance point for the Shield and the future guys to enter into the title picture. Essentially, Seth Rollins is a meal ticket for Dean and Roman. For a while, with the way they were building Roman Reigns, I thought the direction they were going in was for Roman to beat Lesnar at WrestleMania, which I think, and I put this in parentheses, which I think is absurd because Brock should probably never lose again until WrestleMania 32. Funny how times have changed. And I thought what could be a great moment was for us to believe Reigns had the belt and exit out of Mania with it after an exhausting match, but then have Seth Rollins cash in, curb stomp, take it from him at Mania to get massive. What?
You don't want that. Talking about his title. Go ahead.
Yeah. Take it from him at Mania to get massive heat and go into Raw with the wheels already rolling. Think about that. I called that technically back in November. WrestleMania was in April. I called that 5 months in advance that that's what Seth Rollins is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I did get part of that right. Anyway, for a while with Roman getting injured, however, I legitimately thought Dean could possibly be the guy instead, but I strayed away from that thinking. However, I keep getting this strange feeling that with the way Night of Champions went down against Cena and Lesnar, something dumb is going to go down when they actually meet again. Cena actually beating Brock Lesnar despite getting the ass whooping of a lifetime at SummerSlam. Remember, that Night of Championship match, they kept selling the fact that John almost beat him.
Yeah, about that.
I know. Think about this. When was the last time Cena beat Lesnar, and how did he beat him? Chained to Brock's face, AA onto the steps, which was legal because it was that Extreme Rule.
Completely taken apart.
Yeah. It was essentially a stipulation made to give Cena the win and made it, quote unquote, somewhat believable. Well, guess what pay-per-views Brock's coming back at to face Cena? TLC, which actually didn't happen. That was just a rumor. Another gimmick pay-per-view, which will include weapons, gives Cena a cop-out. We have no clue what the finish to Brock Cena would have been without interference from Seth at Night of Champions, but they're building Cena to look believable against Brock, which, again, I think is absolutely absurd considering what happened at SummerSlam. But after a match like that, with those stipulations, one would think with the way they're building Seth, we don't go back to the status quo and allow Cena to walk out champion. He would cash in on a vulnerable Cena who would finally get his 16th championship and win. Who knows where we will be with the Wyatt Dean feud, but at some point after that's done, Dean would come back after Seth, and with Seth as champion, after all the times of Seth somehow escaping and taking from Dean the revenge he wanted to exact, wouldn't the more satisfying first victory for Dean be having him take the thing that Seth betrayed the Shield for, the championship? He sold out to get ahead and become champion. Well, he's getting ahead at every turn with all the help in the world, and he's en route to become a champion with the briefcase. I think the greatest revenge would be to take that away from him, and it then gives Seth the reason to now be the guy chasing Dean for once. So I think essentially my idea was to flip the booking around, have Seth go 3-0 against him, since that's what already happened, and then have Dean get the win over him, and then make Seth chase Dean.
Here's something that someone said. I don't know who said this. I don't know where I heard this from.
Mm-hmm.
But somebody came up with this thought about Seth. Essentially, Seth might have been like a 00 agent spy here that was sent in by the Shield. Think about it, the Shield is kind of still together here.
Yeah.
But sent in by the Shield to take apart the Authority from the inside out.
Yeah, I've read some similar theories to that. Go ahead, keep going.
No, that's it. Like, I don't know where I heard that from. I really forget where I heard that from.
I know where I've heard it.
Bad idea.
I have actually heard an idea similar to that. And hold on, I can actually pull it up and I'll read it real quick. But I'll read the homework thing first. All right, let's see what this is. Seth to Mania triple threat. Okay, here we go. He also said the John Cena stable will be John Cena, Samoan John Cena, Usos, and Nia Jax, and Bayley.
I don't know about the Usos. But then
I don't know about the Usos, though.
Then again, you know how I feel about the Usos. I don't give a fuck about the Usos.
He says he has Seth losing to Reigns at Survivor Series and at his rematch at TLC. Triple H makes Seth prove that he deserves another shot, puts him at number 1. Dean comes out at 15. What?
No, you gotta read that man's whole. Go ahead.
Oh, at 15 at the Rumble. Okay.
Number 15.
So Seth is number 1 at the Rumble. Dean is number 15 at the Rumble. Seth and Dean go the full distance. Seth gets close but falls short, and Dean wins. Seth still clamors for a shot at Mania, and Tripp says, well, okay, but this time I'm going to put you in an Elimination Chamber match. Huh. But never mind. Elimination Chamber match, and you're going out at number 1. It's going to be Seth, Cesaro, Ziggler, Rusev, Sheamus, Owens. Seth pins Owens to look strong. Hopefully it doesn't hurt him. There we go. Did you just end the stream?
No.
Wow. Okay. I thought you did after that. You just went dead silent.
No, you have the controls.
You have nothing to say?
Okay. I'm not a fan of the whole whiny I want another shot gimmick. That's Christian's gimmick already. And
yeah, one more match.
For the love of me, everyone hated it.
Yes.
So essentially that already doesn't work. But let's go back to the beginning of the theory.
Well, now it'd be a great gimmick because the man can't get one more match.
So if we go back to the beginning of his theory here, not theory, but the way he would do it, have Reigns win back-to-back, right?
Yeah. That should instantly take Seth out.
Now, yeah, it should. It should. You got your rematch and everything. But if you want to build a triple threat with these guys, there needs to be heat within the 3 of them all the way through.
Correct.
It needs to be built some type of way. So the question is, what would be Reigns' beef with Dean if we do it that way?
Well, we actually did get 2 more homeworks. They turned in their homework late, but we'll accept it, Wiza.
You knocked off a letter grade for that.
Okay. So Xavier Roan, you're already at a B. Oh, he actually put out bullet points here. Not a boy.
Oh shit.
Okay. All right. So he's at an A right now.
What are we, King Chris? Because he's been saying all week that he's had this theory, and I don't know if he's watching live.
By the way, what are we giving Taekwon? By the way,
Taekwon. Mm-hmm. That was more so fantasy booking than logic booking.
I'll give him a C-.
I mean, he did get us there, and that could happen. It's something that could happen.
Yes,
that's more so like that's a WWE way of getting there. Absolutely. But you gotta have some tension between Reigns and Dean as well.
Yeah, that's what it felt like it was missing to me.
Because your heat there is still like Seth is still a focal point. Like right there with that whole thing, I don't feel any reason to gravitate towards Reigns or Dean.
Or anybody, actually.
Well, the story is
Seth, yes, because then Seth becomes the almost like the underdog in a lot of ways.
Yeah. And now it's like essentially 3 baby faces in this match. The dynamics there won't work that way. You got to add a little bit more to it. Go ahead with the next one.
Grade, Wiza. It's homework.
Since it's something that probably could happen that way, I would give it the same grade because that's a WWE type of way of getting there.
All right, Taekwon, you barely passed with a C-. Congratulations. Xavier Roan. Okay, let's begin. We have Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins in a no DQ match. Seth has tried to put Roman through cinder blocks. Roman through a cinder block at Seth's skull. The turn with the
Christ.
No. This actually happened before.
We just launching cinder blocks at people now.
Hey, that actually
Donkey Kong right now.
That did happen. That was his gimmick once.
Oh my god! So now we're just launching cinder blocks at people.
No, he's reminding you that this has happened before.
I thought he said that like this is the next this is the match that's happening right now.
No. He said that he's putting them in a no DQ match, and he's reminding us that there was that moment where you have a story written with them because of the cinder block thing.
Okay.
So he's saying that because he's going to do another spot where Seth pulls out the cinder blocks and puts Roman in position. Dean comes running out and saves Roman. Roman is making his big comeback in the ring. Dean cheering him on. Roman sets up for the spear, hits it, goes for the pin. Dean breaks it up.
Dean begins that up before he even gets to the pin. Dean should fuck that up mid-spear.
So you have
spear.
You have Roman going for the spear, and just as he gets halfway there, Dean meets him with a chair in the face.
No, he catches him with dirty deeds in mid-spear.
I don't know how that works, but okay.
He catches his fucking head. There you go.
I don't think you understand physics, Wiza, but okay.
It'll work.
Dean is so Dean begins to unload with the chair shots, hits dirty deeds, and leaves the ring. Seth retains.
Okay.
At TLC, we have Roman versus Dean in a one-on-one TLC match in the main event.
Suck it. Does Dean do the suck it or no?
Does Dean do the suck it? Well, for his case, we'll say
he didn't add that. We knock him down to a minus at this point. All right, go ahead. He got to do
the winner gets to face.
You can't just walk away. You do the suck it.
Right. In which the winner gets to face Seth at Royal Rumble. And the loser must be the first man out of the Rumble in the match. So basically, you win, you get Seth. You lose, you're going number 1. Dean is murdering Roman with ladders, chairs, and tables because it's TLC, you see. But Roman spears Ambrose off the apron through a table and climbing to the top, grabbing the contract for the title shot. So here's Roman going over.
Okay.
At Royal Rumble, it's Seth versus Roman in a match. Roman goes for the pin. Dean comes out again because he didn't say this. Dean comes down to the ring and watches, and Roman wins the title. Dean then rushes the ring after the 3 count and unloads on Roman again. Seth is standing next to Dean, screaming, "This is what you get, Roman," and begins to stomp him also. Dean laughs and begins to beat Seth with the chair as well and walks off. Dean comes out to the...
No suck it?
No suck it.
Okay.
But then Dean comes out to the ring at number 1, wins the entire Royal Rumble.
Why does it need to be number 1? Oh, yeah, because, yeah. Okay. I'm not really a fan of that whole number 1 winning, but go ahead.
I thought if anybody should have won at number 1 in the past couple of years, it would have made sense for... No, let me not say that. Anyway, the next night on...
It's just becoming so cliche of a thought.
It is, yes. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'd rather see somebody win it like 12.
Like it used to be special, and now it's just like, let's just win it number 1. Not necessary.
Yeah, I want somebody to win it 12.
It actually hasn't been happening.
No. I like to see somebody win it like 30. the spot they're supposed to win in.
Yeah, right.
Oh shit! The guy that we put at 30. Nah, yeah, he's supposed to have a really good shot at winning this.
Rey Mysterio.
Who did they waste 30 on this year? I think it was Dolph Ziggler. No,
yeah.
The next night on Raw, Seth begins to beg Triple H for... Wait a minute. It is announced that Dean Ambrose re-injured Roman's back, and the Authority announces that it will be Dean versus Seth at Fastlane. And if Seth Rollins wins, then Dean Ambrose must forfeit his opportunity for a title match at WrestleMania. Dean wins, manages to rake the eyes and roll up Seth. It's going with a WWE finish there. It's consistency. Securing his spot against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. Next night on Raw, Seth begins to beg Triple H for another opportunity for his match against Roman and Dean at WrestleMania. Triple H agrees if he can beat Cesaro in the main event later on that night.
So
Seth
what
comes out.
Cesaro wins.
What about if Cesaro? That's a good question. If Cesaro wins, what does he get? Seth comes out and looks desperate against Cesaro, going for roll-ups and pins off of everything. Seth sets up for the pedigree. Dean comes out and yells for Seth to come out now and not to wait for Mania. Seth releases Cesaro's arms, and Cesaro drops Seth on his back and jackknifes him for the 3 count. Nothing comes of it for Cesaro because I have a pre-AP English paper I need to finish.
That's what he said?
Yes.
Nothing
See,
for Cesaro.
This is no, he's a WWE booker. This is why Cesaro doesn't go anywhere. Because it's just like, yeah, we want this guy to win, but I got other shit I got to do. This dude's keeping it in kayfabe. He might get an A just for keeping things in kayfabe.
Okay.
The following week, Roman comes out. Nothing comes of it for Cesaro because I have an English paper to write. This may be my favorite. This may be my favorite thing ever. The following week, Roman comes out and says, "Seth."
That is so real, though.
Yeah.
This is so real.
The following week, Roman comes out and says Seth can have his title shot.
Wait, what?
Wait, he can have a shot as well if he can beat Cesaro. Nothing that Seth was about to win, if not for Ambrose. So he's giving him another chance. Because Ambrose was a dick. Roman tells Rollins that he will be at ringside to take care of Ambrose. Oh, what a nice guy. Seth puts on a clinic with Cesaro. Rollins goes to the pedigree, hits it, pins him. Dean comes running down to stop the pin again and gets Superman punched by Roman Reigns because Roman Reigns must look really, really strong. See, he's in kayfabe. This dude's in kayfabe. And Seth gets the win, and the triple threat is set for WrestleMania. At Mania, it's a triple threat between Rollins, Ambrose, and Reigns. I don't know who should win here. Roman could retain at Mania, overcome the odds and injury. Dean captures first.
We're just trying to get there.
Yeah. If we get there, yeah, the ending doesn't matter.
Okay.
All right, and that was his idea.
That Cesaro bit's pretty good.
That's Cesaro. If it wasn't for that Cesaro bit,
fuck you. That's why.
Yeah, that Cesaro bit was great. I got a good laugh at that one. Oh man, I'll give it. There's some pretty good, well thought out ideas. I think the only thing that bothers me there is I don't know who I'm supposed to be cheering or rooting for. It seems like I'm supposed to be going against Ambrose because he's a complete dick. Is Seth still heel? Because like, why would Roman help him? You know what I mean?
Well,
because
Dean screwed him over a little bit in the beginning.
It's true. I'll give him. You know what? I'll give him. I'll give him a B.
I'm gonna go with the B- gimmick.
Okay.
We got a bit much with it. Like the whole Cesaro stuff. Those matches, the Cesaro matches being added is like, why is that going to determine your title shot? Especially since we already got a title shot booked for WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we already have one booked. So we got one last one, right?
We have one last one.
Okay.
Pretty short, so we can actually get through this.
I got one that's going to be pretty short too. I'm literally just thinking about it as I'm listening to this. It's not going to be nothing barn burner, but it's just something I came up with. But go ahead.
Give the belt to Triple H and have them all win the Rumble at the same time. Then Cena returns at Mania and AA's everybody. I give it an A++.
Oh boy. All right. So here's what I would do. Here's what I do.
Oh, this is what you would do.
So we have Survivor Series, TLC, Royal Rumble, Fastlane, right?
Okay.
All right. Now I don't have no timeline or anything like that. This is really all just off the cusp of my mind here. First of all, I have Reigns going into this whole thing as the champion, going into Mania as the champion. Just like what two of them had Reigns going in as champion, right?
Yeah.
All right. I don't have Dean or Seth winning the Royal Rumble. Don't have that happening. Seth's thing is about being an opportunist.
Yes.
Okay. So let's say he wins that first match. He wins the first match because of Dean. Dean attacks both of them. Well, first he attacks Seth. Reigns is pissed off that he attacked Seth because he had the match won. Dean doesn't like his tone. He drops him, does the suck it, and leaves. Never explains his actions. Never explains his actions on why this happened. So next we have TLC, and then we have Rumble, right?
Yeah.
We have TLC and Rumble. Reigns gets a rematch because of this. I mean, usually this is how it pretty much happens. Something like that happens, you get a rematch. They'll typically put you in one of those matches where you have to air quote qualify for your spot or for your rematch. They usually do that. So they decide that this is going to take place. Well, you could have it happen at TLC because we got Royal Rumble coming up next. So Reigns wins clean at TLC or at Royal Rumble. Doesn't matter. I don't care which one. Again, I don't have a timeline. But he beats Seth clean. No Dean, no nothing. Dean has nothing to do with this.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that he does it at Rumble. Let's say that Reigns wins it at Rumble. Now, people are thinking, oh, okay. So Seth and Reigns already had their match. It's at Royal Rumble. So neither one of these guys are going to be in the Rumble. Seth loses his title. Of course, he gets a rematch, right? So now everybody's thinking, oh, Dean's a shoo-in to win this Royal Rumble. But he doesn't. He doesn't win this Rumble. Now, I don't know why he's not going to win a Rumble. He's just going to get tossed out. He's going to get the Daniel Bryan treatment. The way that Bray got rid of him, fuck it. We're going to get rid of Dean too. Or maybe Seth interferes or something. I don't know. But Dean isn't going. Fuck you, Dean. Now we start getting these backstage vignettes. Seth doesn't want his rematch just yet. Seth kind of weasels his way out of the rematch for Fastlane, and he finds some type of way to get it into WrestleMania. Again, this is off the cusp. I don't have a reason and why, but he finds a way to hold off his match until WrestleMania. Or maybe they decide to have a match at Fastlane and Dean fucks with it. But nonetheless, Dean doesn't win the Royal Rumble. Question is, who wins the Royal Rumble? Because they have to get a title shot, right?
Yep.
So we could pretty much pencil in anybody here. Let's say Cesaro wins. No, seriously, let's say Cesaro wins. This makes sense. This makes sense as to where I was gonna, because what I'm doing here is I'm booking Dean.
I know, I know, but just the thought of WWE actually letting Cesaro.
Well, let's say it's Cesaro. No. There's good reason. There's actually by the end of this, it'd be good reasoning why Cesaro could win this thing, because eventually you want to start putting some type of momentum behind this guy.
I know, but the joke is that WWE is never going to put any momentum behind him.
But no. Cesaro wins this. And he's supposed to have a match at WrestleMania against the champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seth has found a way to weasel his way into this match because Dean starts to fuck with Seth backstage. Not some Wyatt shit, right? Just keeps fucking with Seth. Somebody just keeps fucking with Seth, and somebody keeps fucking with Reigns. Like just doing shit backstage to them. We don't know who it is. We don't know why it is. Hell, even somebody's doing shit to Dean as well. Somebody has it out for the Shield members. Yeah, you know what? Somebody has it out for the Shield members. Now, Dean does these vignettes. I want to say, who was that? The CZW style. CZW style vignettes here. Talking about, he's being cryptic, but it's more so of a jealousy type of cryptic vignettes that he's doing and promos that he's doing backstage. And he's more so like, I'm tired of being second fiddle. I'm tired of being overlooked. I'm tired of no one ever having anything for me. I'm tired of hearing this. I'm tired of these fans who keeps getting behind me because it's doing nothing but bringing me down. The more you cheer for me, the more it brings me down. Right?
Right.
You know, guys keep getting wiped out. I'm tired of whoever this is that keeps taking me out. I don't know who the fuck keeps taking me out, but they keep taking me out. They're taking these guys out. Everybody's getting taken out. I'm just tired of it. We later find out that it's Dean that's attacking everyone. But what is Dean's motivation? We have half of Dean's motivation on why he's taking guys out, Seth and Reigns. He's taking them out because of jealousy. These are the two guys from the Shield that have made it, whereas he's done nothing but play second fiddle.
Mm-hmm.
But who's the one that's taking out Dean? Right? So now it's kind of like an aces and eights thing, because Bully Ray, if you think back to aces and eights, and I'm sorry to bring up aces and eights, but Bully Ray was getting taken out. Then we find out that he was the head of the whole aces and eights gimmick. Well, the person that's been taking them out, helping Dean take them out, is Triple H. Dean decides he sided with Triple H. Now, Seth has already found a way to weasel his way into WrestleMania. And I forgot to mention that Cesaro. Well, no, because then we get a match where Dean and Cesaro at Fastlane. Little warm-up match. Nothing to it. This is before Triple H, before we decide that Triple H is the ringleader of this whole thing. So Dean wrestles Cesaro, loses, but completely incapacitates Cesaro. So he's just not going to compete at WrestleMania. Completely takes him out. So now you got Cesaro on the back burner because they're not going to give him that main event spot. That's just
that would actually get a lot of heat on Dean too.
That, and it gives Cesaro that huge babyface reaction when he returns. And it also gives him a built-in feud when he returns. Now, I don't have a winner at WrestleMania.
No.
But you essentially now have Dean with the authority. With the authority. Whereas Triple H always had that little tension with Seth. He's always had that little tension with Seth. And this was his solution so that he doesn't have to get his hands on Seth. This is his solution to take care of Seth. That's how I would get that triple threat going.
That would be an interesting way to approach it, considering that'd be an interesting angle to have a guy win the Rumble and not actually even be able to be there. And then you can have him come back afterwards.
I would still have Reigns keep the title at Mania, though. I would have him keep the title. It wipes out Seth. It wipes out Dean. How do we take out Dean? There you go. Cesaro completely fucking in a cast or some shit, takes out Dean at Mania, which essentially gets it as a one-way between Seth and Reigns, and Reigns just takes him out. Now Cesaro wasn't able to fully compete at WrestleMania, but he has just enough to take out Dean. Cesaro takes out Seth clean, which takes him out of the title picture completely, because you've had your chances, you've had your rematch, you're done. This takes away from Vince, not really liking the whole triple threat idea at WrestleMania. So Cesaro comes like midway through and takes him out. Seth and Reigns can have like a good time match after that. And there you go. Now, what do we have for Reigns after that? Well, Cesaro, if he could ever beat Dean. What it does is it leaves the doors open for a lot of different possibilities.
It does. It's not just them. You throw in another guy in there, it actually does open the door for a lot more.
That's what you want coming out of Mania. You want that mystery of what the hell is going to happen next.
Yeah.
Then the crowd starts wondering like, oh, and what you've essentially did here is you've now built 4 top tier guys, and you've managed to put Cesaro into it.
Yeah. By the way, I do have a theory about why Daniel Bryan isn't back yet.
Go for it.
Roman Reigns.
Got to get him over, and Daniel Bryan would be in the way because of the fans.
Yep. I think WWE's really afraid of, hey, he's finally getting over. Daniel, stay on the sidelines.
I think that if they just put the U.S. title on him, then he'll be out of his way.
No.
That's not what the fans want.
No, WWE's still afraid.
True.
Because they know, but when they brought back Daniel Bryan, he wanted to participate in the Rumble, and they're like, yeah. And then if they just let Daniel get to 29 or 30, it would have been fine, but they eliminated him immediately, and that immediately turned them. I don't think they want like Daniel Bryan anywhere near this right now. I think they're really afraid that he will fuck this up again. You know what I mean? Even if they do book it properly, which they won't because they're WWE, they're still just too afraid of, hey, we want this to actually go over for once.
Just thinking about what I'm saying, I'm really thinking about that whole moment, because that gives Cesaro a moment, and just that moment of Reigns taking out Seth. Seth's been the thorn in WWE's side for a year now at this point, with WrestleMania come back up, and Reigns finally putting him to rest for good. I think it'd be a good moment. I think it would be a good moment.
I think so too. By the way, that theory you were talking about.
What theory?
I have it posted. I have like a bit where I actually remember somebody talking about it. The one where Seth Rollins is tearing apart the Authority from the inside.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so this is from Uproxx. It's from Brandon Trout. He said, I wish there was still a way for me to justify this long con Shield reunion booking. Let's just get right to it. If you pay attention to what Seth Rollins is doing, he's dismantling the Authority from the inside. Remember J&J Security? He feuded with them almost nonstop.
Yeah, that was in there too. Where'd this come from?
Uproxx.
Uproxx?
Yeah, I'll send you the link. He says, if you pay attention to what Seth Rollins is doing, he's dismantling the Authority from the inside. Remember J&J Security? He feuded with them almost nonstop until they were fed to Brock Lesnar and presumably killed in action. Orton and Big Show aren't with the team anymore. Rollins just finished ousting corporate.
It was actually Rollins' fault, not Big Show, but more so Orton. Big Show, they just randomly turned, kind of.
Big Show randomly turned. Rollins wanted Orton dead. Rollins just kept ousting corporate Kane from his position as director of operations, and then they kept dropping hints that we were building towards Rollins versus Triple H. Is that the rub? that the guy has been working since the beginning to infiltrate the group and implode it? Did he blackmail John Cena into bringing back the Authority after Survivor Series just so his planned trajectory wouldn't be interrupted? You don't go from being the architect to a guy who can't predict Corporate Kane's gonna put Demon Kane in a match without some sort of explanation.
Wapadu.
That's a really interesting theory. If that actually happens, that'd be amazing. That all three of these guys were in on it the whole time, and that his whole plan was actually just to demolish the Authority from the inside.
I mean, think about it. Outside of Dean, like, you know, they could probably just make it as so Dean's just a knucklehead that didn't even understand what Seth was doing.
Yeah,
it'd make sense because that's Dean's character, kind of. But let's say it does work because between the three of them, outside of Dean in the beginning, there was really no heat, and there's still really no heat there. Why is that? These guys should have been coming at Seth continuously over the past year. And they haven't.
Yeah. No, they haven't. Not at all.
Even now with Reigns having the shot, you know, and they did the steer now, like, they're not really, you just don't feel that you fucked us over heat. It's more so, oh, you're the champion and now I'm the challenger. Now it's time to pay the piper. It just doesn't feel like that heat of you betrayed us.
Yeah. That heat that Dean had going into like SummerSlam and the night after Raw and then Hell in a Cell, that's not there at all.
So it could work. That would be a phenomenal story there. Absolutely phenomenal. And would it explain? Nah, it still wouldn't explain why they've been booking Seth the way they've been booking him, because that's been atrocious. But yeah, I'm with it. I'm absolutely with it.
That's a terrible name for a kicker.
Okay, let me look at Twitter, see if we got any questions, and then we're going to close this thing out because we are in overtime, and I want to make sure that my kid can lay in the bed now.
Pittsburgh's kicker's last name is Blewett.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, he just blew it.
Oh boy.
I imagine the school newspaper has a ton of fun with this one. He just missed an extra point.
First question: why isn't Blackjack a supporter of Susan G. Komen?
Do some research on Susan G. Komen. A lot of that money ends up going to like their CEOs and their higher ups, and not CEOs, the CEO and the higher ups. And a lot of what they do is just promoting breast cancer and promoting awareness of it rather than actually donating to curing the shit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, support people who actually want to get this thing and kill it dead, not people who just want to make you aware that it exists.
Would you say that the Jimmy V Foundation is a good one?
I don't know much about the Jimmy V Foundation. I actually don't know a lot about the Jimmy V Foundation, so I'd actually have to look into it first.
Let me see. Do you think NXT should bring in Bobby Roode and reform Beer Money Inc.?
Yeah.
It was just Beer Money. I didn't know they had an Inc. there.
Oh, they have an Inc.? Yeah, I didn't know.
They had an Inc. That'll be fine. Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty much doing. I mean, people are chanting Beer Money there at NXT. So.
Also, do you think they should put Jarrett Storm? Who the hell is Jammed Storm?
I think he meant to say James. Yes.
James Storm in a tag team or keep him in singles competition. I mean, right now, if it's just him, singles, he's fine. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm not reading off any names. The first one was from Peffer Darren, and this one was from the Phenomenal One. Okay. This next one, oh shit. The next one is from Generic Minority. I have about as much intentions of submitting an OD question tonight as Cena does to marry Nikki Bella, meaning none at all. Okay. Awesome. Do you think Daniel Bryan will ever? Okay. Batch Attack asks, do you think Daniel Bryan will ever wrestle for WWE again?
Yes, just not this year. Because at some point they are going to need that pop, and he's going to come back, and people will be somewhat excited. But yeah, it's not going to be now.
Hold on. All right. Shield triple threat. Dean turns on Roman, leading to a TLC match. Dean wins Rumble. Roman versus Dean for WrestleMania spot. Seth interferes. Why is Seth interfering? That was from King Chris. Let's see. Is NXT the best thing? All right. So this one is from DB Brian Phoenix. Is NXT the NBA of wrestling while the WWE main roster is like the NFL? Generic minority.
No. I get what he's saying there.
Go for it.
NFL is the popular brand. Everybody watches the NFL.
But
Roger Goodell is a fucking idiot. Okay. The NBA is not quite as popular as the NFL, at least here in America, it's not. And there's a lot more going on there. But if you can watch an NBA game here and there, but you really like the people that are in charge, and they really do a good job of trying to promote their product with an Adam Silver.
But this would essentially be, is the NFL not good to watch? Because WWE main roster is just not good to watch.
Fair. Yeah, that's where the comparison kind of falls off.
Generic minority. Kevin Owens' new gimmick. Oh, shit. I got to stop reading his stuff. Is a sex fiend who has a shirt that says, "Fuck Owens, fuck." But the word Owens is a bear. Yes or no?
See, I was actually just getting ready to stop the broadcast. But then I thought he was trying to end the broadcast. Like he's legitimately trying to.
So let's see if he could actually get away with it one time. Let's see.
Yeah, he's got to try a little harder.
Young Showtime. Let Roman win at Survivor Series. Let Dean win the Rumble and assault Roman during the Seth rematch at Rumble. That makes Rollins say he lost because of DQ, giving him another shot at Mania. Dean and Roman beef, and then boom, 3-man Mania. What about Fastlane?
I don't know. It's
because
fuck
Fastlane.
It's an event.
Yeah, fuck Fastlane, I guess.
Yeah, fuck Fastlane.
All right. Let's see. There's more. Okay. Since Baron has confirmed trying a moonsault, will he use the shooting star press to one-up Apollo Creed's moonsault? Is he going to do the shooting star press?
I'm sorry, who's doing this?
Baron Corbin.
Oh, no.
Good enough. Seth needs a repackaged finish, excluding the curb stomp and pedigree and Phoenix Splash. What finisher does he need?
He needs the Phoenix Splash.
If you exclude these, what would you give him?
Well, Del Rio's an asshole and took the Avada Kedavra, even though he's been doing it forever. Geez, I don't know. Remember when they tried to make him do that like front falling DDT thing? That was bad. Jeez. I don't fucking know, man.
Yeah, this one's good.
I give him the hook and ladder. Give him Dean's old hook and ladder move.
Generic minority. Roman wins at SummerSlam. Seth wins at Rumble. Dean buys the Money in the Bank briefcase from Sheamus for $20 and a fish sandwich. Boom. Triple threat.
$20 and a fish sandwich. Oh my God.
All right. Somebody's email wasn't working. This is Robo McCarthy. Robo? Is that his name? Robo McCarthy. All right. As Survivor Series comes by, Seth and Reigns face each other. and Dean comes out and shits on Roman as he's been hired by Seth and is tired of second place. He even talks about the what? Oh, Hell in a Cell card, which he was left off of. Messes with Roman until the Royal Rumble. And the last two to face off are Roman and Dean as Seth interferes and hits Roman as Dean will face Seth. And then at Fastlane, Seth puts up a shot at. All right, need punctuation.
You sound like you're struggling there.
There's no punctuation. I don't know where to stop. All right, Dean will face Seth, and then at Fastlane, Seth puts up a shot at Roman to beat him, so he can wrestle. So he can go to WrestleMania, and Roman wins with Dean incidentally hitting Roman with a chair. Cena has the Money in the Bank, by the way. All right, wait. So there's a million.
That sounds like too much work.
There's a million things wrong here. Why would Dean face Seth at Fastlane if Seth hired Dean? Did I miss something there?
I don't think you did. That sounds like I said, that sounds like too much work.
Then Seth puts up a shot at Roman. Why does Seth care about Roman at this point?
I mean, right now he's the number one contender, but that's about it.
But he lost already.
Oh, he made him lose?
Yeah.
Then yeah. No, you
He didn't say rematch. There's no rematch here because you just put them both in the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no rematch here. To beat him so he can go to WrestleMania. And Roman wins with Dean incidentally hitting Roman with a chair. So Roman Reigns wins by DQ? I'm sorry to read that. Let's see. I'm trying to get some names that I haven't gotten yet. So Cage Ep, I'm hoping that's how you say your name. One got to go from WWE history. Undertaker, Stone Cold, or The Rock? Shit.
I'm going to pick The Rock.
Why?
If I have to pick one to go, I mean, Taker and the WrestleMania thing. I mean, granted, his good matches didn't start coming to the later part of his career. It's still such a storied and revered thing that I'd rather keep that.
They're all a must. All of
I know
are a must.
Stone Cold was just so gritty.
Stone Cold was the reason the Attitude Era popped off and got ratings. And
The Rock is such a great promo too.
And The Rock essentially, with his history in the WWE, it brings those outside eyes into WWE whenever they need it.
Correct.
If you would have to erase anyone, I think it would have to be The Undertaker. Like,
yeah, I can see why.
To the business,
I can see why.
But you have to erase their history, though. It's tough. Their history.
I think the only reason why I would just go The Rock is because from a wrestling standpoint, I think you can survive without him.
I don't believe that.
But from a business standpoint, I can see where.
Here's why. When Austin went down, imagine you don't have The Rock.
Oh God, that would suck.
You had Triple H by himself.
Yeah,
imagine
at that
point.
I held the championship for 600 days.
Imagine the ooze at that point.
Oh my God. Jericho would be
do away with anything. It could be The Undertaker.
Jericho would be super buried at that point.
A big reign of terror. A big one.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. Yeah. Because I was gonna say Taker at first, but then I started thinking The Rock. Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right, Taker. Yeah, because that WrestleMania thing, I guess could anybody could fill that.
I mean, it's more than WrestleMania because.
Right, but that's the big draw with him. The biggest draw.
That's the biggest draw, yes. But he played
just the fact that he's this supernatural character.
He played such a large role. Like even during the like the ending of the Golden Era, like he's played a large role there too. With his matches with Hogan, Yoko, Ultimate Warrior, just taking on all of those guys. Like he was supposed to be the guy to give Hogan that feud that he needed, because there was to a point where Hogan didn't have anybody fresh to work with that could actually compete with him, and they could believe that this guy, he took the belt off of Hogan.
Yeah.
When nobody could. He took the belt off of Hogan. That's huge. Then you have the Ministry of Darkness during the Attitude Era, which it added that extra. Undertaker essentially added to the product, not necessary for the product.
Yeah.
Even though he was very monumental, he added to the product because he was the one that helped get Mankind over, which essentially helped get Triple H over, which helped his feud with The Rock be more believable.
Yeah.
I would say Undertaker.
Yeah.
He never did anything to transcend the product itself.
True, yeah, because the Undertaker doesn't exist outside of that. Yeah. All right. Let
me see. Is there anything else there I want to read? Apollo Crews, NXT champion. No, Finn Balor is right now. Fastlane doesn't get title matches. That's because Brock was the champion. Asuka versus Sasha Banks. See, here we go. See, you're gonna get this no right quick. Asuka versus Sasha Banks versus Paige versus Bayley fatal 4-way match.